Hey there, Designaholic. I'm Carrie Lawless, and we are
Designaholics.
On this channel, we teach DIY hacks, how to achieve high-end design on a budget, and how to make the most money when you sell your home through staging. On today's Designaholic DIY, we are going to take these chairs, which we feel like are a little outdated, a little bit, and we are going to use chalk paint and turn them into farmhouse fabulousness. Stay with us. We are going to show you how it's done. Oh my goodness, looks like the Designaholics are already getting started. These ladies are so fast. They've already gotten started. Holly's taken off the seats like a ninja, and these ladies are using the Krud Kutter, and which is such a great product, huh? Get it? It gets all the grease off. I think we got it at Home Depot, and so we're just spraying and wiping. Once this is all done, we're gonna get started painting. All right, we're all prepped and ready to go. We're starting to paint now. I have a synthetic brush here. Actually, we all have a synthetic brush, and we're just gonna kind of rub it around in circles on the areas that have all these beautiful crevices. As you can see, we've got light over dark, so it's not going to cover in one coat, no big deal. You already know we're going to have to do a second coat. Oh, and by the way, the color that we're using, it is Waverly brand Ivory. This is actually going to match a table that we did a DIY for, and so that's why we're using this color. Okay, so if I wouldn't tell you, you would probably never know, but these are two different chairs. So what happened was the table and chair set only came with 4. I needed 6 minimum. So I called up one of the local antique dealers around here, and we got 2 chairs that match so closely. The only thing different literally is this little part here, and the claw at the bottom, and maybe some minor detailing up here, but that just goes to show you, if you don't have enough chairs and you've got almost a set, don't give up. If you get it for a good deal, get it, and then look around for a close enough match. We've got the chairs completely painted. We've got 2 coats in most areas, and there was somewhere we had to put 3. They're fully covered now, and before we go ahead and put the wax on to protect the surface, we're gonna do a little bit of light distressing. So we're getting started on that right now. These chairs are really beautiful, and the distressing's pretty, but sometimes I see people that they just do a little too much. Now, if we do go too far, we can always cover it back up with paint and or white wax. So there's always a fix for it, but why do double work? So hopefully we'll get some consistency going throughout. So when you're distressing, I'm using these little sanding blocks, but you want to make sure that you look for these high points, because this is so beautiful, this carved wood look. And so what makes it look so gorgeous is when you highlight the high points of these areas. We must have a lot of paint in this area. It's taken me a while to bust through it. But that's basically what you're trying to do, is highlight these beautiful relief areas. You know, sometimes when you sand and you don't break all the way through and you see a little bit of paint still on top and it's just kind of peeking through, I like those areas. So I'm probably going to cover a lot of this harshness back up, but these areas I leave just like that. I don't bust through the paint any further. We switch gears a little bit. The way that I showed you with the sanding blocks is ideal because you get a lot more control over everything, and you can do it even if you don't have power tools. However, we are on a time crunch, so I'm gonna break out this mouse sander, which is my favorite sander. This is Black & Decker. And I'm just gonna show you a little bit how to distress very quickly. I can probably get these done 5 minutes per chair. You wanna use a fine grit sandpaper. I think I've got 120 on here. Sometimes it busts through the paint a little too much, but then you just go right back over it with a light coat of wax or paint. So let me just show you how it's done. It's almost like you're treating this like a brush, and you're just gonna hit the edges, inside, outside, and then the high relief areas. All right, let's go. On the back of this chair right here is an example of this is what I don't really like. And I see this a lot, and it's not bad. It's just a little bit primitive for what I'm going for. This area right here where you can see the brown is barely peeking through from the finish that's underneath. I like this better with little bits of the dark showing through, like here. So I'll probably just, you know, cover this a little bit and make it a little more subtle. But I mean, that was just a few minutes, and I may fine tune here and there, but pretty much if I stopped here, it'd be totally fine. All right, so you have 2 ways of doing this, and either way will work. So on to waxing. I have the Valspar Sealing Wax, and I'm gonna go ahead and start now. You are supposed to use a synthetic bristle brush, but I'm using my natural bristle, which means it's probably not gonna last as long, but I like this brush because it gets in these crevices really easily. Just so happens it fits pretty well inside of this can. So I'm just gonna dip it right in. There you go. And then just basically in the crevices, you wanna brush in a circle. Make sure, that's the other thing I like about this brush, is to get, like, you know, inside of these pieces. It's so easy. I would say 2 coats is the best, but 1 may be sufficient. Just, you know, if it's got that chalky feel, you'll know, put another coat. So anyway, this is it. Really, really simple. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish covering this chair. Here it is. We really hope you like how it turned out. We love how it turned out.
Yes.
So pretty. It actually exceeded our expectations. We're so super happy. I mean, the difference from the before to the after is just amazing. And it was super easy. That means you can do it too. We would love it if you would subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And also, please comment below. We want to know what projects you're working on. We would love to see pictures of them. We love to share in the Designaholic community.